Hi, this is BB again. And I've been thinking about this. You know, how I feel or what my idea is of how they have us, what they're trying to do, would be almost the equivalent of like in the olden days. They used to get those mental prisoners, people, anybody who a family didn't like or people in positions of power didn't like, they used to get them locked up in mental asylums. Anybody who spoke their mind, anybody who was saying this is wrong, you shouldn't do this. Anybody who spoke out, the rich people, I guess, on people in power, positions of power, would get them locked up like there's something wrong with them. And then what they would do is the doctors would give them the frontal lobotomy and basically turn them into a passive vegetable. The passivity was astounding. They wouldn't have any original thought. They wouldn't have they couldn't differentiate or think for themselves. Well, this is wrong. I can't tolerate this, or I shouldn't tolerate this. They just took whatever people threw at them. They became docile. They became highly suggestible. They became malleable to the family and friends and whoever, chose to go that route by getting them locked up and getting the frontal lobotomy done. They became less of a threat to the people like what we're facing now. And I think that it's turned into a way where they're now using technology, which is a great thing. It keeps us connected, keeps us abreast of what's going on, but it's also being used on the flip side to basically like technologically castrate us, to render us almost like a vegetable. It's the same concept, just a different mode of doing it, different method, different channels of getting the same type of castration done. I call it castration. What's the point of having a brain that's active, that's thought processed, knowing the difference between right or wrong, and then you're suddenly a vegetable? Or you're afraid to voice your opinion because they'll come bashing more fumes, more gas, more messing with the cat. Things that they know is going to irritate and destroy your body. This is how my life is right now. It's like they're holding me hostage. I should know my place. There are things that I shouldn't talk about. There are things that I shouldn't say. There are things that are taboo to me that I shouldn't, mention, because there will be consequences. This is how I feel like my life has become. And I know the woman who is doing this. I know the couple that is behind this. I do know them. A lot of people are not fortunate enough to do that or know that or have that clarity, but I do, because I know exactly when it started. It may have started before, I'm not sure, but I know the people who are involved. And that, in a way, is like me saying this is just making them more incensed and more determined to put an end to my life. Because basically is what they feel I'm saying is I can pick them out in a lineup. I know who they are. And what they're going to do now is all kinds of things to make my head, because right now my ears are hurting. There's pressure. Sometimes it feels like my head wants to pop open, like the cranium itself wants to crack. It does. Feels like it wants to crack. It feels like it just wants to crack, like it just wants to crack. Areas of attack is around my pelvic area, my head, my ears, my nose, my whole nasal passages, the ENT, the ear, nose, and throat. So, and the pelvic area, and of course the heart muscles, because a heart attack is always a sweet thing, a sweet deal for them. Aneurysm is always a sweet deal for them. They are the vultures of society. They're the predators of society. These are the things, the creatures we have to deal with. This is what they have become. They are vultures, they're predators. There's nothing short of that. And I think they're worse because they are actively retaliating by upping their game. When we speak out, this is what they do. Because some of us will actually just cow down to it, and then we just stay quiet because they're so scared. And I think mostly people who have a prior record or who have been on the list, some who knows that they're being, they've had some run-ins with the law, they tend to keep quiet. But then they come against people like you and me who really don't give a rat's ass. Even if we have a record, we don't care. This is wrong. Even like I said, even if I were on death row, I had an expiry date on me, an expiration date on me. I was judged by a jury of my peers, and there was an expiration date on me. These assholes, these predators, these vultures, these Neanderthals have no right. They have no right. They have no right to do this. No right at all whatsoever to do this. Then they should have an expiration date as well. Nobody looks for them. I'm sorry, but the things I see people are getting away with in this country and probably worldwide, it's appalling. It's appalling. This is appalling behavior. And it's happening to a lot of us. So what do they want to say? We're like those people that we actually would judge. And I'm sure most of us now are reconsidering our stand on that. Like people who say they see UFOs and they see Martians. And now they're coming from different parts of the world and they're drawing and describing the same being. Now we're beginning to wonder, I'm sure you have. Don't tell me that hasn't crossed your mind. Baby, they were right. And we were, ragging on them. Well, look what's happening to us. And nobody believes us. Nobody believes us. The fumes. And one of the things that I think the person who's doing this to me wants to establish, whether in my mind or her mind or the people who she's employing to do this, is, I don't know if I hear clicks all the time, like clicks. Like an old time tape recorder, you press the button, you click, tick, 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 you hear it. That's what I keep hearing. So recorder, I don't know. I think that's being done on purpose. Unless it's circuit breakers in the walls, I don't know. But why would the breakers be going off like that if it's being, one, to start a fire, two, to actually be emitting a frequency? What would it be like? And it follows me from room to room. I've heard it. My neighbor has heard it too. Another thing is, I think they're trying to discredit my neighbor. Like she's not going to be like a good witness. But I don't really care. I don't really care. But at least it'll bring some attention, and that's fine with me if this goes to court. If I can get somebody to believe me, and if it goes to court. If I can get someone to believe me. But the thing is, it's like technologically being castrated. It's like frequency castration. We're being castrated and robbed of our basic human rights, or thought process, or brain activity, like someone said, our assets, or money. We're being castrated. We have it, but it's not functioning like it should. Because in my case, what I think they're trying to do is this. Is if I am found saying stuff like this, like I'm hearing a voice, or I'm listening, I'm hearing a voice, I'm hearing these clicks, I'm smelling these things, no one else is but me. But that's not true, because people have smelt it in here before. She actually saw, my friend, neighbor actually saw mist that was yellow in color. She said she called it an aura, but it wasn't an aura. I did some research. Chlorine in mist form is yellow in color. And that's what we smell, chlorine, a lot. So I don't know. She didn't do research. In fact, she doesn't even like when I talk about it. She just wants it under the rug and hope it'll go away. Unfortunately, it's bothering me a lot, so I can't, because I work online and they're attacking my work. And one of the ways to keep me down is to keep attacking my ad campaigns. Facebook ads. I've had to resort to Facebook ads. They're attacking that as well. They're attacking, well, I can't even advertise on Google anymore. As soon as I write up an ad and I put it out there, Google will say it's invalid. Is either the page is too slow to crawl, the destination is not found, which means the website is going off charts. There's everything that they can do to slow my business down until I die, until she gets to kill. She wants to kill. And the thing is, I know the woman who's doing it. I know who's doing it. And it makes me wonder how many times in the past has she done this? For her to be so determined to put me in the grave now, sounds like she's been through this before. This is not her first time. She has a determination and a drive. I mean, if I were trying to kill somebody by using these means, at some point I would say, you know what, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. She doesn't. She takes that as like she has to prove a point to whoever her superiors are. She has to prove a point. So I don't know what their deal is, but I do know one thing is that they have money to burn because they're hiring people to help them. Those people, let's just say that they've told people that I did XYZ to them, and these people are on their bandwagon, is getting involved in their parade, right? For a whole year, they will try to kill me without pay, without any incentive. They're going to stay angry on their behalf and try to kill me for a whole year. I don't think so. Somebody is getting paid somewhere to do this. This is simple, basic common sense would say that. They ain't doing this for free. They're not on anybody's bandwagon. I don't have any beef with them, personally. I don't. They're just hired guns, basically. And the thing is, they may try to say it's not meant to kill, whatever they need to tell themselves, because they're just people like you and me who just likes easy money, free money, big money. And they will tell themselves whatever, that it's not that serious, it's not going to do much harm. They'll try to make it look like it's funny, make it look like it's just a funny thing to do. It's just a laugh. She's really not feeling bad. She's just over dramatizing everything. She's this. They'll tell themselves whatever they need to keep doing it. And I've challenged them before. Would you like to come in here and let me do to you 1 week what you do to me, and then see what happens? Just 1 fucking week. Just for 1 week, and see what you'll do. But you got to take it. You got to take it. Take away all your income. Just give you barely enough to live, to eat, and do the same thing to you and see what happens. They're not going to do that. That's one challenge that will not be taken. Nobody is going to take that. Nobody's going to accept that challenge. Because this is not about that. They'll tell themselves whatever bullshit story they need to keep themselves psyched and keep themselves going. So whatever they need to tell themselves to keep going and keep fucking with me. And this is like frequency castration. It's like we're being castrated like a fucking vegetable. Like we're being being put in a frequency vegetative state. Because I'll tell you something. I've noticed something. I think they also try to suppress emotions. I don't know how they're doing it. If this is just frequency, or if there's things that, because there was one video I saw on YouTube, right? On YouTube, where the guy bought chicken, I think, or steak or something from just a regular supermarket, and he put a magnet and it stuck to the meat. It's stuck to the meat, and that's something we have to ingest. So what if there are these metal particles that we're, and they know this, so they will put in the air, or if not metal, like this graphene. Graphene I think it's a liquid. If we inhale that, it's non-metallic, but it can be controlled through radio frequency. And if we're being fed that constantly, there's a buildup of it in our systems. And there might be magnets in place that is keeping it locked in our system so we don't excrete it. It's not moving through the digestive process. And think of it. Think of having like you have a piece of lead inside you and they're like up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Think about it. This is what they will do to us. Is there big money for them at the end of this? Who would think of such horrible things to do? To any human being, who would think of it? I don't understand. Help me out here. Give me some ideas, please. Even if it's law enforcement. Let's not argue whether it's law enforcement or private citizens like you and me. How can we combat this? Let's figure that out.